Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of New York City, Season 13, Episode 2, Burning Up. This episode opens at Ebony's apartment and Leah comes over and she's wearing an understated little pink bow on her sweatshirt. I'm not sure if you guys noticed it or not. It's very discreet. And Ebony is showing Leah around the apartment. Turns out that Ebony does not consider herself to be a downtown girl. This apartment is in Tribeca, but she got this apartment to appease her ex. She says she thought they would be together forever, and now she won't even sleep in the master bedroom because it's, like bad memories for her. In Leah's confessional, she's like, that's ridiculous. If my ex was paying for this apartment, I'd be fucking other guys in that bed. So I don't know what's wrong with Ebony. So the way Ebony describes this is that when COVID happened and people were asked to quarantine at home, he felt like if he stayed there with her, he might lose his children. So he went to New Jersey to quarantine with his kids. And that during that separation, Ebony realized that they wanted different things in life. So they broke up. I mean, honestly, wouldn't you want a man who chooses to be with his children during COVID? Maybe this is just me, but if my guy chose to be with me and not see his kids for months on end, that's a red flag. You know what I mean? I think I want a man that puts his children first. Even though, of course, I would want to have quarantined with him, but, in her confessional, Ebony said, people are together for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And our season was up. Side note, why is she still living there then? If that's his apartment, or if he is paying the rent. Maybe he's letting her stay there till she buys her brownstone. Anyway, they were talking about meeting the ladies. Leah was asking her, how was it for you? And she said, well, Sonja gave me a very obvious once over, looked her up and down. And then, of course, we see it. And again, we get to that cringy comment from Sonja. Oh, you're so tiny. I didn't realize. And then with Ramona, Ebony thought that was a little weird that she felt a immediate connection. She said, because, we didn't even really talk that much. And Leah's like, yeah, that's bull. Ebony is cautiously curious about the Hamptons trip, though. In her confessional, she said, I don't usually fool with that many white women on a regular basis. And Sonja and Ramona are like no women I have ever known before. Well, they're like no women anybody has ever known before, so... Side note, I hope Leah and Ebony are done eating because her dog is going to town on the food. He's been stealing cherry tomatoes off of that coffee table as it is, and now he's just full on licking some kind of dip or whatever. Anyway, Leah tells Ebony that she was supposed to go to Burning Man and then it was canceled. So she wants to have a Burning Man party at Ramona's in the Hamptons. What part of Ebony looks like she would enjoy Burning Man to you, Leah? Leah, you need to invite Dr. Deb, Bronwyn's mother. Well, as I said last week, I will say it again. Ebony is being a really good sport about everything because she's like, okay, you're going to have to help me with my outfit, but yeah, I'm in. Next, we are at Sonja's townhouse, and her intern Zoe answers the door, and it's Alita St. James, Sonja's healer, because, of course. I guess all those months walking alone in the desert didn't do it for Sonja. Side note, I was feeling kind of sorry for Alita because she's a little bit older and she had to walk up all those stairs in Sonja's house. I'm surprised there's not an elevator. Anyway, I was feeling sorry for her until I saw her poor assistant who's walking up the stairs behind her carrying a giant suitcase and what looks to be some kind of a drum. Well, even though Sonja lives in the present, as she tells Alita, when she came back to the townhouse, she was feeling some kind of guilt and just some bad energy. In her ex's gym. Okay, two things. Is that a gym? It looks like a living room with a shower in it. Granted, somebody put a few free weights on the bookcase and rolled a few towels and put them on the end table next to the couch, but still. The other thing is, isn't her ex 104 years old? Oh wait, that actually explains the 2-pound dumbbells and the couch. He probably sat down on the couch, tried to lift a 2-pound weight, and then needed to go take a shower. Okay, so as hokey as all this is, Alita tells Sonja to lay down and she's got crystals on her and everything. When she asks her, tell me what's wrong, Sonja breaks down and starts crying. And she tells her that my husband loved me, makeup or no makeup, bra or no bra, just the way I was, he made her feel safe, and then he was gone. I mean, she really starts crying right now. And this is sad, but I'm also a bit confused. Sonja says she had to make the right choice for her daughter, and she feels so bad. She's like, maybe I should have stayed with him so that my daughter could have everything she needed and more time with me. So hold on. Did she leave her daughter with him? Like, did she leave both of them? Also, I thought he left her. Wasn't there something? Oh, you guys, if you remember, please leave this in the comments. But I feel like it was something that Dorinda brought out. Like, her husband was sick and she was like in Saint-Tropez and wouldn't come back. And then he left her. I'm sure I'm getting this wrong, but if you guys can remember what the story was. But what I never thought was that it was Sonja's idea to end the marriage, Of course, that's what she's saying now. And then the part about having more time with my daughter, either she left and left her kid too, or maybe she's talking about sending her kid to boarding school. I have no idea. All I know is in all the years that Sonja's been on, we have never seen her daughter. And also, either way, whether she left the daughter there or the daughter went to boarding school, I mean, her daughter will have everything she needs. Her daughter is still his daughter, so it's not like she doesn't have everything she needs from her father. And I know Sonja herself is worried about money. She's distraught over that Century 21 thing being pulled out from under her. And, she's got to pay for the upkeep of this townhouse, which she can't rent out and nobody wants to buy it. And side note, can we take just a minute to notice how cute Marley is sleeping on her head while she's having this healing done? Oh, I love it. Okay, now it's time for a packing montage. Leah is with her daughter, Keir, and I guess Leah's sister, Sarah, met her husband at Burning Man. And, now that I think about it, that sounds about right. And then Leah tells Keir that she can't show her outfit for the Burning Man party in the Hamptons, which was dumb because why did you even mention it to her? Over at Sonja's, she's frantically packing a lot of lingerie because she's got to keep up with Ramona. And she's explaining all this to her intern, who is standing there with like her jacket over her shoulders. And I'm thinking, I bet you can't get a lot of work done with your jacket like that. And then it occurred to me that she's not doing anything. Sonja is the one who's like digging in the closet for clothes and packing her suitcase and working like a fiend, while Zoe just stands there and watches. I suppose after she taught Zoe how to draw a bath, she's now teaching Zoe how to pack a suitcase. So, good life lessons she's learning here. All right, we check in with Ramona, who is already at her house in the Hamptons, and she has hired a hospitality director who is going to be there several hours a day while the ladies are there to help her out, because this time I don't want to wake up and find strange things in bowls. Of course, we get a flashback to last year when, let's just say, something that Joe Giudice invented was in a bowl of chicken the next morning. It looked so gross. Ramona says she can't believe she invited all the girls for 5 days. I can't either, actually. That seems like a long trip. Side note, what is happening with Ramona's hair? She's got it like French braided, and she has sort of a red, white, and blue ponytail extension braided into it. I don't know. Very strange. Anyway, in her confessional, Ramona says, "The city is a very strange place right now. Everything's shut down. At least I have my home in the Hamptons, where we can all get together and have a good time and not feel constricted." Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ramona was not restricting herself. That's why she spent so much time in Florida. Anyway, side note, there has been an update. Ramona's hair and makeup are done for the Burning Man party that night. She actually looks cute with her hair and makeup like that and her little jeans. again in her confessionals, she said, contrary to what everybody believes, I really like Leah. And if she wants this Burning Man theme, I'm gonna go all in. And she does this like thing with her fingers where she's sort of channeling her inner flight attendant. Your nearest exit may be in front of you, to the side, or in the back. Next, we check in with Leah and Ebony, who are riding up to the Hamptons together. Leah tells her that her grandmother is really sick and, she doesn't know how long she's going to live. But she said, I'm going to talk to you when I get back from the Hamptons, Grandma. So she's just kind of on edge about that and everything going on in the world. Then we see Luann driving a convertible, pulling up to Sonja's to pick her up to head to the Hamptons. So I guess no jitney for Sonja this time. Yeah, and unclear whether she is wearing an adult diaper or not. In Luann's confessional, she said, I think this is going to be a good trip for all of us, staying under one roof, because maybe I can figure out what's happening with Sonja. Maybe gauge where her head is at. Meanwhile, Ramona is fixing some dog food for Coco, and she's calling, Coco, Coco. And she goes, I don't know why I'm yelling. She's deaf. Yeah, because Coco is 43 years old. Anyway, she goes, Doyen, do you see Coco anywhere? And Michelle goes, I'm Michelle. Of course, she got her name wrong. Then Leah and Ebony arrive and they walk in the front door. And Michelle says, hi, I'm Michelle. And they say hi to her. And then they find Ramona, and Leah is just tickled that Ramona has her hair like that and that she's getting into the spirit of this Burning Man theme. She said she considers that to be Ramona's olive branch. Then they go outside to see how the yard is all decorated for a Burning Man. And Leah goes, wow, it's great. Last year I destroyed your backyard and now I'm hooking it up. I can't help but notice that Ramona still has tiki torches, though. I don't know if that was her one little way to kind of stick it to Leah, or if she's just so obtuse that she didn't understand why Leah found them offensive last year. So anyway, there's flowers on the tables, and there are like all these big overstuffed pillows in front of a tent that has little lanterns in it. I mean, it feels a little more like glamping than Burning Man to me, but I guess, this is the Hamptons version of Burning Man, so these women can't really be pushed too far. So they go inside to eat, and she has some things out on the counter, and Leah and Ebony are helping themselves, and Ramona just remembers like she forgot to put some dip out or something, and she goes, oh, you know what? Diana! Michelle goes, are you talking to me? Oh, I meant Diana. And Michelle goes, no, I'm Michelle. You meant Michelle. So then Ramona goes, okay, Michelle. Like, if you insist, I'll call you Michelle. And then she says, I always get my help wrong. To which Ebony looks at Leah and said, did she just say I get my help wrong? And Leah's like smelling a piece of meat. She doesn't even... I think that Leah is no longer fazed by Ramona. Side note, this is so funny. The chyron under Michelle, originally it said Michelle, hospitality director. Now it says Michelle, not Diana. In Ebony's confessional, she's like, this is 2020. Nobody's the help. It's derogatory and demeaning. They sit down to eat, and Ramona's a little bit discombobulated, and she wants everything to be perfect. But Luann and Sonja aren't there yet, and she's a little miffed about that. So Leah goes, well, they shouldn't get first pick of the rooms then, because they're late. And Ramona said, well, I already promised Luann she could have her pick this year. No lower level for Luann. Oh, the lower level. I think Luann even worked that into her tagline last year. So, speak of the devil, we now check in with Sonja and Luann, who are in the convertible on their way to the Hamptons. Luann said, I really like Ebony. And Sonja said, yeah, that she likes her too. And then in Sonja's confessional, she said, I don't know that I'm really ready to immerse myself in Ramona time or full-on Luann time. And Leah... whatever that meant. But these are my real friends. Okay. And it's something I need to do. If you don't spend time with your real friends, what do you have? Back at the house, Ramona tells Leah and Ebony that she had lunch with Luann and Heather Thompson. And they were talking about this Hamptons trip. And she invited Heather to come and spend a couple nights there at the house, too, with everybody. And Leah goes, cool. And Ramona goes, well, you don't seem very excited, Leah. And Leah goes, no, I don't really know her. Ebony's like, who's Heather? And Ramona goes, well, I'm excited. And Luann is excited. Ebony, Ramona, who the hell is Heather? No one's telling me. Leah, I mean, I don't know her well, but I know she was talking shit about Luann on that podcast. Then we see the headline. Side note, guys, what would we do without reality blurb on these shows? It says Heather Thompson claims co-star brought out hard drugs during the St. Bart's trip and implies that Luann and Sonja slept with the pirate. Leah's like, she literally said Luann does hard drugs. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, is it? Ramona goes, yeah, I did read something about that because I have this thing. It's called Google Alerts. Ebony can't even hold in her laughter. And Leah's like, yeah, we're aware of what those are. In Leah's confessional then, she goes, I only met Heather for 5 minutes in the Berkshires, but I know she's constantly talking shit about Luann and Sonja and Ramona in the press, so I don't trust her. Then Leah said, well, I invited a couple people too. And Ramona, who is, this is the new Ramona, she's trying to be easy breezy, roll with the punches kind of girl. She's trying to keep her cool. And she goes, oh, how many did you invite? Leah goes, I invited Elise and my sister. I know she's probably just kidding, but how great would that have been, you guys? I mean, Sarah's fine. I don't care either way about her. But Elise, do we not miss Elise, who absolutely should have gotten an apple this year? 100%. She did the best friend of job that I have ever seen a friend of do. If you consider that to be auditioning for a housewife, she definitely should have gotten the part. But alas, before Ramona's head exploded, Leah said, I'm just kidding. And Ramona's like, whew. So they all head inside to settle into their rooms, and Ramona's kind of showing them around her house. And so she shows them the master bedroom and the master bath. And it's huge. It's just this enormous room. And Ramona's just, talk. And Ebony said, oh, I like the skylights. And Ramona's like, yeah, and so over here, you have a dressing table. And I did this all myself. I could have been an interior decorator. And Ebony goes, yeah, the skylights are nice. So I saved a lot of money by designing this myself. Ebony, finally, is fed up with being ignored. Nobody answered the question about who the hell Heather Thompson was. Now she's twice saying the skylights are great, being totally ignored. So she goes, Ramona, I'm wondering if maybe my voice decibel is too low and perhaps you don't hear it. I mean, that was a good way to do it. We flash back to Ebony asking who is Heather and nobody answering her. So Ramona admits that she might have a hearing problem. Ebony, however, suspects that it's more of a listening problem, 100%. But, she's going to give Ramona the benefit of the doubt. And she says to her, okay, well, I won't be upset about that then. Now Luann and Sonja show up and they say hello to everyone. And Ebony notices that there's pee on the floor in the kitchen. And she said, oh, somebody get Ramona. Coco peed on the floor. I think Ramona said, oh, I let her out. No. And Sonja goes, oh, it's probably Marley, because Sonja brought Marley too. I swear to God, these women, they bring their untrained dogs everywhere. And it's not cool when you're in somebody else's home. I remember Dorinda having to pick up Coco's poop off of one of the rugs in the Berkshires. No, that's not okay. You shouldn't bring your dog anyway to someone's house. Don't let your dog run wild in somebody else's house if they're untrained. So anyway, Ebony and Leah are sitting with Luann while she's eating now, and they're just keeping her company. And Sonja and Ramona are outside by the pool. Ramona's checking the temperature of the water, and Ramona's like, oh no, it's staying at 85 degrees. I wanted it at 95. I said 95 to my guy. I said make it 95. Okay. Doesn't that seem warm, like bathwater temperature for a swimming pool? Meanwhile, Luann is inside and she gets her room assignment and she's very happy with her room this time. Outside, Ramona and Sonja go to try and figure out what's wrong with the pool heater. And Sonja flips a circuit breaker back on and the two of them high-five each other like they just ran a marathon. Truthfully, I am a little surprised that she didn't just have Diana do it. Okay, so now it's time to get ready for the Burning Man party. Ramona has silver bedazzled pasties on, and she's just putting a sheer black top on over it, and she's got very glittery silver hot pants. And I'm telling you, I don't know if this is a Burning Man look or not, but she looks fantastic. Luann's in her room, and she's got her bejeweled Village People hat, the police hat on. I don't know if that's what she's going to wear, but that doesn't seem very Burning Man either. Ebony is all in leather. It looks like a leather cat suit. I don't know if it is all one piece or not. And she's got a leather studded jacket on over that. And Leah is in black sequined assless chaps. She calls her look a cross between Mad Max and Coyote Ugly. Sonja's in a sheer little dress. I guess I have no idea what Burning Man people dress like. I mean, if it's like these women, I guess I can see how Sarah snagged a husband there. But in my idea of Burning Man, I just feel like it's dirty and out in the desert and everyone's dirty and sweaty. I mean, nothing like this glitz and glam. I guess I'm wrong. I mean, I've never been to Burning Man, but it never appealed to me because in my head it was like Dr. Deb. Kind of old, hippies and filthy dirty. I don't know. More denim cutoffs and less sequin pasties. Okay, so are any other people going to be coming to this party? Because the whole yard is made into this magical world, and there's only 5 women, and 2 of them are sober. Is that going to be fun, or is that going to just be weird? Oh, wait, okay, so Luann has switched to a fur, kind of a Elmer Fudd hat with the flaps, and I love the choice. I do. It is a look, and I'm into it for her. Okay, well, there are bartenders and chefs, and there's a healer. So I guess they aren't completely alone. It's just not 5 women in the backyard by themselves, but still. Anyway, they start by visiting the healer, and they're all sitting around. Her name is Davy, and she's going to do a sound bath. And Luann goes, "Oh, I love a sound bath." And I'm thinking, uh-oh, I just hope this isn't somebody standing in a bowl with a bowl on their head, getting gonged by a friend, and having to go to the hospital because you're losing vision. So anyway, before she begins, Ramona needs a lot of clarification about what's to happen. Now, I don't know if Ramona thinks that this woman is going to be feeding them all MDMA or something, but she's very, very concerned. Before she participates, she wants to know what's going to take place. It's she keeps asking a million questions, and I'm thinking, oh my God, just do it. Just sit down. Just sit down, let her make her sounds with the bowls, and move on, okay? But no, Ramona's so what kind of a healer are you? Is it healing from pain or from heartache? She goes, yeah, it could be either of those, or it could just be to sort of set your intention for maybe something that you would like to change or bring into your life. Oh, so it can also be a positive thing. Healing, you might want to change yourself. Yes, so finally someone's sit down, Ramona. So they go around and Davy suggests they introduce themselves and then talk about a certain intention that they would like to share with everyone. And she starts with Leah. And Leah goes, my name is Leah, and I would like to set the intention for my family to be strong and to work through what's happening with my grandmother right now. She's passing away, and I want my family to have the strength to get through all this. The camera pans over to Ebony, And she's kind of like holding her chest and, like breathing. And she's definitely affected by what Leah said. So we go to Ebony next, and she says, my name is Ebony. And I guess she too has a grandmother that's dying. And she's worried about her, and she's worried about her mother, because they're the only two family members, blood family, that she has left. And she says, I'm going to set an intention to expand my definition of family. I've been feeling kind of lonely and isolated during COVID, and I want to be opened up to a broader interpretation of family. It was really nice. And I was thinking to myself, I bet a lot of people could actually be comforted by that and could really make their lives better by doing the same thing. Sometimes, most times I will say, we tend to focus on how hard things are for us. Like, for example, if you have small children at home or school-age children, during COVID, all being at home 24/7, 7 days a week, and trying to do your job maybe from home, or having your husband or wife at home trying to do their job in another room, keeping the kids quiet or trying to help the kids do their online schooling. Everybody had to adjust to this sort of new normal. It was very different than anything we've had to do in our past, and it was hard. And those adjustments were really difficult. For people who live alone, that's a different kind of difficult. You're quarantining alone, and the fact that you don't have children or a partner might be magnified for you in a negative way. And so for those people like Ebony, I think there's something very positive about saying, you know what, I need to expand my definition of family. And these friends who are near and dear to me, they are my sisters and brothers. They are my family. I don't know. I mean, I liked what she said. I thought it was hopeful and positive, So next is Luann, and she said, for many years, I've been seeking spirituality and getting closer to my inner voice. When I don't follow my gut, I tend to get in trouble. And Leah's like nodding. So I just want to call to the spirits who are guiding me to come here tonight and show me the way. And Leah's like, amen. Then we get to Ramona's. Now, I will just say, first of all, where did this baby doll voice come from? It's very quiet and sweet. And she said, so my name is Ramona, and I really have no family other than my daughter. Okay, so you're just going to steal Ebony's. Okay, go on. And my friends are my family, and I just really want to pay more attention to my friends. Okay. Ebony's probably thinking, oh, well, that's going to be a tall order. So she goes, that's what I realized. It's important. Real people, real love, real friends. And everyone's like, amen. Oh my God, this was so funny. In Luann's confessional, she goes, well, you really have to give Ramona credit for trying. Oh, I forgot. We still have Sonja, and she's the last one. And she says, I'm Sonja. These are my friends, and I'm happy to be here. I need to be better with being vulnerable around them so that they know that I trust them. Sonja says she doesn't even tell her daughter when things are bothering her because she doesn't want to be a burden to her. And Ebony breaks in and says, oh, no. Never think that. It is an honor for me to be there for my mother. She has done so much and sacrificed so much for me her whole life that I am honored when I can give back. So don't ever feel like you are a burden to your daughter. And Sonja goes, I just want to check out. Not kill myself, but just check out. In Ramona's confessional, she goes, I hate when Sonja talks like that because it's like giving up. And she needs to fight back and not just wallow in her miseries. So now it's time for the sound bath. And also Davy is vocalizing during the sound bath, just a lot of sounds coming out of her. She also tells them that this is a safe space for releasing anything that they might need to release. And Leah said, I feel like I want to scream. And Davy goes, go ahead. So she screams, and Ramona gets scared, and Ramona's covering her ears. And then Luann starts screaming and flailing her arms around. That was different, and Ebony's kind of giving her a little side eye. Ebony's right next to Luann, by the way. So I think she wanted to get out of range of the arms swinging wildly. I don't know. The look on Ebony's face said, if I slide far away, will that look offensive? Then Leah starts crying, and everyone is very supportive. And Ramona even offers to scream with Leah, who, to be fair, I think was done with the screaming portion and now on to the crying portion, but did let out another one for Ramona's sake. Then Ramona says to Davy, I'm sorry I asked so many questions, but this was great. I feel like my mind was massaged. I feel relaxed. Oh, and Davy's work here is done. Okay, so I guess I am going to have to wrap my brain around the fact that this Burning Man party is just 5 people, because nobody else is coming. However, there are 50 people working it. Now they make good use of that 95-degree water, and Luann, fully dressed, jumps onto one of the floating flamingos, and then Leah has to take her chaps off and her top, and she dives in the water. Ramona gets on one of the flamingos, and even Ebony got on a flamingo. I don't think she wanted to. In her confessional, she said, I am not getting white girl wasted, and I'm not getting butt ass naked. I am going to get in the pool, but I'm keeping my clothes on. Sonja's the only one who didn't get in the water. Meanwhile, we've got a guy making pizzas. Some of the ladies have changed into dry clothes. And now everyone is sitting on those big pillows outside the tent, and they're eating their pizza. Marley has been kind of wandering around outside the whole time. I mean, he was like staring at Leah when she was screaming earlier. He's just, I don't know what he's doing, but he walks up to Sonja now and she goes, oh, look at you. You're the girl at the end of the party that's just a mess, Marley. Ramona, is it Morley or Marley? Oh, God. This is not a new dog, okay? Sonja goes, oh, great. You're my chosen family and you don't even know my dog's name. How would you like it? Is it Coco or Cuckoo? Oh, poor Coco. She's 52 years old and you're making fun of her name. Everyone's laughing. And Ebony leans over to Leah and she said, I think my Irishness is about to come out. And Leah's like, are you really tired? And she goes, yeah, I'm in a good place too. Like she just wants to end the night on a good note. And I'm thinking to myself, good luck making an Irish goodbye when you are one of 5 people at this party. Leah's like, yeah, do whatever you feel. Then this 14-foot reindeer appears out of nowhere. Then an acrobat. I mean, I told you 50 people. That's probably a conservative estimate are working this party for these 5 women. So while the other ladies are just up on their feet dancing with Blitzen, Ebony takes the opportunity to just head inside and go to her room. Leah's like, I think Ebony left. Ramona goes, you know what? I get it, because we're kind of crazy bitches. Leah's like, I'm just going to go inside and check on her and make sure she's okay. So she goes inside, and Sonja said, I'm not sure I'm okay. I ate too much pizza. Anyway, Ebony says she had a really great time. I hope none of these women think about going to the real Burning Man now because this was so much fun. Because I have a feeling, and I could be wrong, I still could be wrong about this, but I have a feeling that the real Burning Man is very different than this evening was. And I think may involve more drugs than this evening did. But anyway, Ebony's like, yeah, I had a great time. And that healer stuff, that was intense. And you know what? I just needed to tap out and kind of reflect on everything that happened tonight. She said that she hasn't had a chance to deeply connect with other women that weren't Black, quite frankly, like ever before. And so, she's like, it was not an issue at all. And Leah said, good, that makes me happy. Ebony says she feels like she can really be herself with these women, and if something rubs her the wrong way, she feels like she can say that. And Leah goes, yeah, you can. Well, I mean, maybe with you, Leah, but we'll see how it goes with the other women. I think we already got a glimpse into the fact that things aren't going to always be this copacetic while they are in the Hamptons. But, for tonight anyway, let her have a good night's sleep. Anyway, Leah goes back outside, and the other three are dancing and being silly. Ramona tells Leah that she made a really nice party, and it was a great idea and a lot of fun. She goes, I really want to be with you girls. I want to be in the core of really core people. So you mean like you want to stay with them instead of ditch them to go to a party with a lot of superficial people who are wealthy so you can find a husband. Got it. Now you're deciding you just want to be with your core friend group. You know, maybe Ramona's values have changed. No. Luann goes, we're the core group. And Leah goes, we're the core people. And they're laughing. Then Luann said, one more scream before we go to bed. 1, 2, 3. And they all scream and head in the house. And that is it for this episode. Well, I guess a party can just be 5 people and 50 workers. I mean, you know, still a little bit of a slow start for New York to me. I'm wondering if the ladies are on their best behavior for Ebony. I'm not sure. I think they're going to have to be themselves at some point. So, well, I mean, we know there's some yelling going on while on this Hamptons trip. So, yeah, it can't stay sweet and lovely forever, right? That's no fun. Anyway, thank you guys very, very much for joining me. Before I forget, I am an Amazon affiliate. So in the description box below this video, you'll see some of the things that I recommend from Amazon. These are things that I bought and liked, and I will be updating that. I haven't in a while, but I will update that. I did add a couple of books to my list of books that I have just read recently that were so good. One is The Last Mrs. Parrish, and the other was called The Chain. Oh, God. You guys, if you like psychological thrillers, I'll just tell you really quick. The premise of The Chain is that this woman drops her 13-year-old off at school. She goes off to do an errand, and she gets a phone call saying, I have kidnapped your daughter, and the ransom is $25,000, but also you have to kidnap another child. The person that has kidnapped her daughter is also just a mom who has had her son kidnapped. And if she doesn't get this lady to kidnap somebody else, they won't release her son. And this is how the chain works. And no one goes to the police about it because they've all committed a crime by kidnapping a child. But it's like parents in this super desperate situation. And I don't know, if it's just really good. So anyway, long story short, if you click on any of the links I have below to Amazon, even if you don't purchase the thing you clicked on, while you are still logged into your Amazon account, whatever else you buy during that time, I will receive a small portion of that. So yeah, it helps me out a little bit. And you know, if you're uncomfortable with that, that's fine. But if you happen to be shopping at Amazon anyway, that would help me out. So thank you in advance. And that is it for me. I will see you guys with the next recap of The Real Housewives of New York City. In the meantime, stay safe, wear a mask. I love you guys. Bye.